Hey everybody, Chris here, and today I'm really excited to bring you an intro to Picado lesson. We're doing the fundamentals, and then I'm going to give a couple exercises at the end to help develop and work on specific problems that beginners face. Okay, so Picado is a technique used in flamenco and in classical guitar too, where it's basically single note lines played with rest strokes, okay? And in classical guitar, they'll do a lot of single note lines with free strokes, which in flamenco we don't do as much, okay? Anyway, so the rest stroke in Picado is done like this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our first finger, we're gonna put it on the first string, okay? And you're just gonna follow through. That's a rest stroke, you follow through and you land on the next string. Okay? Just follow through and it lands on the next string. And then what happens is you do that with your next finger. Okay, so then you're constantly alternating. Okay, so that is Picado. Okay, like I said, you can use any variation of fingers, but usually it's done with index and middle finger. All right. So with that rest stroke, there's a couple things that we got to talk about now, how we're going to do this. We're going to talk about where you generate the motion from. You're going to find a lot of people on interwebs that will tell you one way or the other, that it has to be this way or it has to be that way. I tell my students that if you can make your guitar sound great and you play with your elbows, hey, play with your elbows. That's fine, as long as it sounds great and it's in time. Okay, so there's usually two schools of thought, whether or not this picado comes from here, these two knuckles, or this knuckle, this middle knuckle like that, or if it comes from the bigger knuckle like that. Either one is fine, in my opinion, okay, as long as you make it sound great. Just make it sound great, easy peasy, right? So whatever seems natural for you, for me, using this, I know that it would take years and years to build that up for me, and so I'm not willing to put in that time. Okay, other people, they do this right off the bat. That's what they prefer. Okay, so I would go with your preference. Okay, just immediate preference, because you'll find plenty of examples of people ripping with either one, either version. Okay, so and when you're playing great, everybody else is going to just try to copy how you do it. If you did play great with your elbows, everybody's going to go, wow, they got something going. Maybe I should try playing with my elbows. Okay, so just know that you have those two options. For me as a teacher, I'm okay with either one as long as you play great. There's going to be other people that say, oh, you have to play this way. Okay, that's their deal. All right, so then we got to worry about, or not worry, but we got to think about where we're hitting the string with our finger, okay? So what I recommend is actually hitting it with your finger, and then it goes over the nail, like that. So you get a little bit of warmth. If you only hit with your nail, it's going to sound really brittle. Very sharp and brittle. Here you also get a little bit of roll, so it helps maybe with speed. Okay, but I've heard people play with all nail that can play very fast too. So, okay, so generally I'm rotating my finger just a little bit. Okay, nail length absolutely has a lot to do with this, but this class is not on nail length. We'll do something else on nails. I do have a download for all my Patreon subscribers about how to work your nails and how to do that. So that is available on another separate thing. Okay, but nails absolutely have something to do with it. Okay, so picado, we're going index, middle. That's because that's the standard. Okay, and I would just practice walking like that. You notice that my thumb is on the 6th string. Okay, that's kind of my home base, but that's not fixed. Sometimes it'll be on the 5th string, 4th string, sometimes it'll be free, just depending on what the technique is, what is coming before and after this picado that's going to dictate where my thumb is, okay? general rules for the picado. After you have constant alternation, you have where to hit it on your finger, so you have a little bit more tone, a little bit more depth of tone. And then the mechanics, you decide that, would be that we would have that distance of your thumb, that same distance of your thumb. But like I said, it depends on what comes before and after. You might start something like you're finishing something here and your thumb is here, and then you start your picado. I would highly recommend that you get back to a place where it's similar. And then you're going to see people drag their thumbs so that they keep a similar structure in their hand as they do their picado work. Okay? Now, it depends on if they lift all the way off the guitar. Usually they'll still have their forearm touching a little bit like this. Okay? But they're trying to leave that structure, their hand structure, in the exact same place. Minimal movement there. Okay? Minimal change in structure. That can be a huge assistance. Notice that if I were to go here and walk up and leave my thumb there, now I'm all cramped up. Okay? So it helps to go, yeah. Now I might not be in the exact same place, but pretty close. Okay? Very good. So you have a lot of things. I have all of this in a lesson plan written out for you. I suggest taking your own notes because you could interpret it different ways and all that stuff, but I have it all written out for you too. For all the Patreon, all my Patreon, all levels of my Patreon subscribers. Okay? So you can go over there. The link is down below. In the meantime, while you're there, subscribe, hit the notifications button. If you like this video, got lots of others coming up. All right, so now let's get to walking. Just, we're going to walk index, middle, index, middle. We'll do 4, and then we'll do 8th notes there. I have it set at 80, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? Then we're going to do that on the next string. Let's just do that a couple times, okay? I've set it 80. I'll count to 4, and then we'll start, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Next string. Back to the first string. Continue however you wish, but at least we have a base, okay? Work it up. If that was too fast for you, go slower, okay? But now you know what to do and you can go slower, okay? Good deal. The first actual exercise, even those were exercises, the first actual exercise is working where we're going on the top 3 strings. First, second, third, second, and then we're going to hit the first string twice. Because now all of a sudden I play the second string with my middle finger and the third string, or index finger and the third string with my middle finger. And then we're going to go high E twice, and now we're going to go back to that first way. So basically by playing the top E twice, it changes, okay? It changes every other time, okay? So that's really good work for you to get used to alternating and changing strings and maintaining that alternation. So that's exercise number 1, okay? Do it at 80, and I would do it at quarter notes so you can really focus on your alternation. 1, 2, we'll start at 1, 3, 4, and... Super exciting, right? But that gives you the opportunity to really focus on your alternation. And then also, because we're going to that third string, you can move your thumb a little bit. Make sure you get that you're not clinging to whatever string you're clinging to here, okay? No cling. Cool? All right, so exercise number 2. We're going to add, I call this exercise 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s. Okay, so we're going to do quarter notes, then 8th notes, then triplets, then 16th notes. Okay, we're going to keep the metronome at 80. And we're going to start, I start with my index finger, right now, okay? But when you practice this, you don't have to start with your index finger. Start with your middle finger. If you decide to use another finger, try starting with opposite fingers, okay? So that way you get the most benefit out of all these exercises, out of working that constant alternation and challenging yourself to keep it, even though it feels challenging when you're doing a particular version, okay? So I'm going to start this with my index finger, but you don't have to, okay? You can start with your middle finger. Eventually, when you get to performance, you play whatever's easiest. Cool? All right. So I have it at 80. I'm going to count to 4. We start on 1. Okay, quarter notes, eighth notes, triplets, 16 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Eighth notes, triplets, 16. Quarter, eighth, triplets, 16. And then you go on like that, okay? So what you're looking at is just really trying to keep that constant alternation as you go. And when you get to that third string, you're looking that your thumb isn't trying to hold on to that as you go here, and that you see that my hand is starting to get too close. By the time you hit the 4th string, it's really cramped up, okay? So you really want to try to go bum, bum, just so that it moves off just ever so slightly, and then back, okay? Very good. So I think now you have a couple of exercises. You have a lot of the fundamental things to look out for, and hopefully it's stuff that I've shared with you that allows you to go, it's okay. All right. If you can play it well and play it the way you're playing it, and if it's in time and you're playing it strong, powerfully, confidently, and you're playing all the right subdivisions, everything, hey, that's awesome. That's totally awesome. So I know that it's tricky as a beginner as to what stuff is important and what stuff is not important. Hopefully I've given you what's important and the stuff that you might not want to overly concern yourself with. If you have any questions at all, let me know. Leave a comment below. I do my best to check those as frequently as I can and get back to you. Or you can connect to me through Instagram. I have an Instagram. You can connect through my website. Of course, if you like this material and all the other tutorials, I would love for you to be a supporter on Patreon. Every Patreon level gets this full lesson plan, okay? And I'd super appreciate your support there. I wish you a great success with your Picado playing, and enjoy the work, and we'll be in touch soon, okay? Have a great day. Bye-bye.